If you're an agency owner stuck between $10,000 and $20,000 a month and you are sick of the cold outreach grind just to get a few more clients, my name is Ethan and I've scaled my own agency past $20,000 a month. And so in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to actually set up your ads campaign for the first time from scratch so that you can generate more qualified leads, book more qualified sales calls, and actually scale your agency past $20,000 a month. So if you're ready, let's get into the video. All right, so first thing you're going to do when you're in your actual ad account is you're going to go hit create. And since we want to generate leads, we're going to select the leads campaign objective, hit continue. And so the first thing you'll see here is the campaign level. So there's three different levels when you're actually setting up an ads campaign. That is the campaign level itself, there's the ad set level, and then there is the ad level. So I'll break these down. Campaign level is the overarching goal and objective of the campaign. So if this is a lead generation campaign, you would name it a lead campaign that makes sense for your specific objective, for your niche, for your offer, and for the specific campaign itself. The ad set level is where you do your targeting. So this means targeting things like age, gender, location. So things like countries, cities, states, even anything like that. So that is where your targeting is done. And the ad level is where your creative is put in. So this is either your photo, your video, your carousels, anything like that. The things people actually see on both Instagram and Facebook, that is where they live on the ad level itself. Okay, so let's set this up super quickly. And just to give an example for this specific video, I used to run a real estate marketing agency, and so that's what I'll use for this example. If you're using a different niche, obviously put in the right copy for your specific niche. Okay, so the campaign name, I'm going to name this RE leads, and I'm going to date it as well, just so that I know when I actually launched the campaign, the ad set, and the ads. So, let's do a slash. Cool. So here for the budget strategy, there's two different types. There's campaign budget and ad set budget. So campaign budget, or otherwise known as CBO, campaign budget optimization. This is where you just give Meta your entire budget and you let them distribute it where it thinks it's going to perform better, okay? And so you would usually only use these for actual scaling campaigns once you know you have ads that are winners and that will perform well, actually generate you good quality leads, okay? Whereas ad set budget here, or otherwise known as ABO, ad set budget optimization, this is where you can go ahead and give a certain budget for each separate ad set so that you can test your different targeting and test different creatives to see which one actually works, okay? And so I always recommend to start off with setting it on the ad set budget. All right, as you can see, the budget below disappeared. And so for each different ad set, we're going to be setting its own budget, okay? So once that is done, this is super simple. Campaign level, you don't need to do anything else. Go to the ad set level, and now this is where we actually will name the ad sets themselves. So usually the way that I like to run the targeting is you will have one broad ad set and one interest ad set, meaning the broad ad set, you're not going to do any sort of interest targeting. You're just going to tell Meta, okay, go ahead and figure out what is going to perform the best, give it to pretty much anybody and everybody, and see who actually likes the ads and will convert on the ads, okay? The interest targeting is where you will go ahead and give Meta a few interests that can narrow the targeting and the direction that it actually distributes the ads to. So things like, for real estate, for example, you do things like Zillow, housing, real estate, any sort of those interests, and I'll show you guys that later. But for now, the way we'll set it up is we'll set up the broad campaign first, and then we'll duplicate that into the actual interest campaign. So let's get into that. So for the ad set name, we're going to name this broad, and then we'll do the date as well. So these are just other examples. And the conversion location we want to set is actually instant forms. So we want to drive people to a lead form on Facebook so that the lead is kept on Facebook, and Meta will then recognize that, okay, this lead is being kept on Facebook. We will push your ad out to more people, all right? So always have instant forms so that you can actually generate more leads and also qualify them as well. All right, so we scroll down. The daily budget, I recommend anywhere between $10 to $30 per ad set per day. Just as you're testing, you can always scale this up and always scale it down as well. But just to start off, we'll just leave it at 20 for this example, okay? Now, in terms of the audience itself, we want to make sure that we further limit the reach of the ads itself. We don't want to just let Meta do whatever it wants. We actually want to distribute the ads to the correct audience that we want it to go to, okay? So for age range, I usually would leave this for the real estate example. Most real estate agents who are qualified would be at least 25, okay? And we will go up to about 50. I don't want them to be too old, right? So this little checkbox here, used as a suggestion, I would always turn this off just because it can go outside of these parameters here, and we don't want that. We don't want it to be giving and showing the ads to people below 25 it can go down to even like 18 years old who are just fresh real estate agents and they wouldn't be qualified, right? So that's why you always want to turn this off. And just in general, you want to turn off most of the Advantage Plus options or just the extra AI options that Meta gives you, right? So once that's done, leave that. Obviously, location, you can do anywhere you want. So you can do it by country. So Australia, US, UK, Canada, New Zealand, the top 5, or you can do it per city as well. So you can do things like, or state. So, Florida, California, Texas, wherever you want to actually target, just make sure you put that in the actual locations here. So genders, we will leave that as both genders. And in terms of custom audiences, you can just leave that blank for now. And like I said, since this is a broad campaign, we will leave the detailed targeting just completely broad, okay? So we will leave this broad. Placements, this is something we do want to change. So click in here, edit the platforms. We want to turn off audience network, and wherever you want to display your ads, if it's both Facebook, Instagram, keep them both on. If it's just one or the other, make sure to tick only that one, okay? Placement controls, this one's really important. So hit edit here. We don't want any search results showing the ad, okay? In-stream ads for Reels, this is completely fine. If you click into it, it's just where the Reels are. Stories and Reels, this is also completely fine. So you can just leave these here. And in terms of feed, there's a few ones that we want to turn off. So there's things like Marketplace. We don't want ads showing in Marketplace because nobody's there. We want to turn off the Explore as well because nobody is there as well. And we also want to turn off the Facebook notifications. I don't even know why anybody would run an ad there, okay? So we just want feed, profile feed, video feed, stories, and Reels, pretty much. So now that the targeting is done, that is that. We can leave it as is. And then we will go down to the ad level. Like I said, this is where you're going to actually be showing your specific creative. So the photo or the video or the carousel, whatever it is, this is where it's going to live. And so I'm just going to name this test for you guys, okay? So today is 4/8/25. And so I always put the date just so I know when I've actually launched the ad or the ad set or the campaign itself, so that I have a track and I can understand, when was it launched and, what's the performance since then, essentially. Okay, cool. So if you scroll down a little bit to the ad set up, you want to make sure that multi-advertise ads is turned off. If you read it here, it says your ads can appear alongside other ads in the same ad unit to help people discover products and services from businesses that are personalized to them. Your ad creative may be resized or cropped to fit the ad unit, and that's what we don't want. So this allows Facebook to put your ads wherever in different niches that don't really matter to you specifically, and also they can crop the size of your images or your videos, and that's not what you want. So make sure you turn multi-advertiser ads off. Destination, you can either hit create a form, since this is going to be your first time, but I do have a form already, which I will show you guys as well, okay? Now, in terms of the ad creative, if you go down here, click set up creative, we're going to do a simple image ad just as an example for today. We are going to select this little photo of dogs. Make sure you turn off this option, so turn on flexible media. Like I said before, they can go ahead and just expand, shrink things without you knowing, and that's not what you want, so make sure that's turned off. Your primary text, so this is going to be your copy, the actual copy on your ads that you're going to be displaying to your audience. So, you want to do your hook, your body, and your call to action here. So let's just do a simple one. So, attention realtors, okay, just as a super simple example. If you want more listings, click the learn more button down below. Okay, so this is a super simple example. Obviously, don't actually use this, use something more substantial. Your headline is here to get them to do the call to action, right? To entice them. So we'll do get 2 listings in 90 days, guaranteed. Okay, pretty good headline. Just make sure all of the Advantage Plus options are off, okay? And then call to action, since we did learn more here, we will put learn more as call to action. Okay, don't really worry about the description. This isn't shown up much, so that's not really necessary at all now. Hit next, skip and continue. Do not do the image generation. Make sure that's all off. And then for these Advantage Plus creative enhancements, make sure they're all off as well. Okay, so off, and these 2 as well. Beautiful. So everything is off. As you can see, it does random animations, so we don't want that. So let's leave that off and hit done. Cool, so now that the ad creative is set up, you can see it here on the right side, so you can just do a little preview. So this is your creative, this is your headline, this is your call to action, and this is your copy, okay? Same thing over here on Instagram, you can have a look at this, and then all the different placements that you have. So stories, and then reels as well. So these are just the examples. So when that is done, just make sure that all the Advantage Plus options are turned off, okay? And pretty much you don't really need to touch anything else. The last thing that we will need to do is set up the form, and so I'll show you guys this example here, okay? So I have a few forms here already, but what you're gonna do is create form. I'm gonna duplicate this one since I've just set it up in another video. So I'll hit duplicate, but you guys will hit create form. Here is where you'll have your actual qualification lead form that actually qualifies the leads and brings them to your landing page, to your VSL, or wherever you want to direct them after they fill in the form, okay? So the name of the form, just make sure you know what the form is, when you created the form, and what the objective is, okay? So I'm not going to change anything, but I'm just going to redo it and show you what I've done so that you can understand. So name it whatever. Select more volume. You want more people to actually opt in. You want flow over friction when you're starting to run ads, okay? Flexible form delivery, make sure this is turned off. As you can see here, it says allow Meta to adjust or remove form elements based on what people are most likely to respond to. We want to make sure this is off so that Meta doesn't just remove questions on your form, and so you can actually qualify your leads, okay? So make sure that's off, hit next. Background image, you can have this. So you can have the same image from the ad, or you can use an image that you upload, one that is more tailored towards your offer specifically. So this says get 2 listings in 90 days here. You can put the same thing up here with a different image. You can do it on Canva or wherever you want, okay? I'll just leave this off for now, just in this example. Our greeting here is, as you can see, so I've done get 2 listings in 90 days. These things are completely dependent on your niche and your offer. Just make sure that the copy itself is directing the lead to do what you want them to do, okay? Use ChatGPT, whatever, that's how you do it. Once that is done, hit next. Here is where we have the actual qualification questions, okay? And so we want to turn on conditional logic, all right? And the question that I like to ask is pretty much just any sort of qualifying questions. So Alex Hormozi says B-A-N-T, BANT. You can have it on your lead form, or you can have it in your booking form as well. In terms of on the lead form on Facebook, we want as little friction as possible to actually generate leads and start qualifying people and bringing them into the funnel. So I'm only going to have one question, which is a financial or budgetary kind of question that qualifies them, okay? So my question here is, what is your current annual GCI? For your industry, it could be what is your current annual revenue? What is your current monthly revenue? Whatever it is for you guys specifically. And then the answers here, I've put under 75K. 75 to 150 and over 150. You can do as many or as little as you want, but the most important thing here is the actual logic. So set the logic for the answer where you want to disqualify them. So anybody who is under 75K, we're going to disqualify these people, and so they're going to be led to the close form, okay? So you hit close form, and essentially this won't even allow them to submit the form so that you don't waste money on getting them as a lead, essentially, right? Because they're unqualified anyways. And so for the qualified leads who enter, any of the qualified answers, you can get them to submit the form. So here, E1 end page for leads. Let me do the other one as well. E1 end page for leads. Okay. And down here, this is where your actual information form is. So just type in anything, enter your details here, submit your details, whatever you want to say. And always make sure you have full name, email, and phone number. And then you can do other categories, things like street address, city, state, whatever else you need to actually qualify them in terms of their personal information, okay? So I'll leave this off as the example. As you can see here, that's what it looks like. Hit next. Privacy policy, this is optional, so I would personally turn this off. You don't need it, and just hit next. Okay, so this is actually the end page. So like I said before, the end page for qualified leads looks like this. This is what I would usually write. So wait, you're not done yet. So this copy here is actually relevant to your niche again, or relevant to your offer, or relevant to what you want them to do in terms of taking action. So for me, I said, click the link below to watch a quick video on how to generate 2 listings in the next 90 days. Make sure you click go to website or wherever you want to push them to. Could be a lead magnet, like a PDF, something like that, call, chat, WhatsApp, whatever you need it to be, okay? And then the link, I've done test.com here, just as a test. You would put in your landing page link, your VSL funnel link, whatever it needs to be. That's the link that you put here. And then your call to action, I've put in watch video. You can do book a call, whatever is necessary to you and your offer, okay? So we'll leave this one as watch video for now, and this will drive them to the VSL landing page. So this is for the leads. And then the end page for non-leads, you would just redirect them away and you wouldn't push them to your funnel. So here we would do you're all set, and then our team will get back to you ASAP, or whatever you want to say here. The call to action is view website and then put whatever link. A lot of people just leave this as facebook.com, okay? So, yep, you can do watch a video there, and that is pretty much it in terms of setting up the form. You would hit create form, and then it would actually come out here, and you can see the preview on this side, okay? So you can preview your ad here, then you can preview the form or the destination over here, and that's what it looks like, okay? And so, like I said earlier, we're going to be running a broad and an interest campaign. So the way that we set that up is within the actual ad set itself, you want to make sure that you have at least 5 creatives to test. So if we were to actually look at the dog creative here, you want to test different things to see what hooks your audience better and what gets their attention to get them to actually opt in and become a lead for you, okay? So instead of these 2 dogs, you could do, you know, black dogs, brown dogs, something like that, just a different color, a different image, something else to grab attention in a different way and see and test which creative is actually going to perform better. So the way you do that, I would go here and I would duplicate, and then you can go to do however many creatives you want to test. I'm going to do 4 for this example. So it's going to have 5 total ads within your ad set. So for this one, we can actually change the name to, just so that we know what it is. So we can do test 1. This can be test 2. Get rid of the copy. So on and so forth. Okay, so I'm not going to do all that right now, but you get the point. And just make sure that you name it so you understand what the ad is. Okay, so this could be blonde dogs and this could be brown dogs, right? Just so you know whichever the actual creative is. And so once you have your 5 creatives set up, the only difference between your broad ad set and your interest ad set is in your interest, you will have the specific interest that you want to target. So let me show you how to do that. All you're going to do is go to the 3 dots next to your ad set level, okay? And you're going to duplicate this as well. You can duplicate it if you want more different types of ad sets, or you can just quick duplicate it to make one exact copy, okay? So I'll just do quick duplicate it here. So this is our copy, and we're going to change this to our interest. Same thing, instant forms, same budget, we can leave it there. The only thing that we're going to actually change is the detailed targeting down here. So make sure you hit edit. All right, and then here is where we will add our interest. So again, for the real estate example, I'm going to do something like Zillow. Okay, so Zillow, we will do real estate industry interest. We will do house. We can do first time buyer. Put roughly 3 to 5 interests that matter for your niche and the offer specifically. And here, use as a suggestion, always, again, just make sure that you turn this off. That is how to set up the interest campaign. So you have your total leads campaign at this level. You have your broad ad set, which is just allowing Meta to see who is the best fit for your specific offer. You have your interest ad set, which kind of narrows the targeting a little bit to more towards specific people who may be more interested in your offer. And then you have the same creatives within both. So the only thing that you're really testing is 1, which creative is working better, and in which ad set is it working better, okay? And that is pretty much the end of it. All you have to do once you've set everything up is go up here, hit review and publish, and then you have set up your first ever ad campaign, okay? The way that I would actually go ahead and make sure we test this and, you know, see what is working within the ads themselves is every single time you run a test, you run it for 4 days. So if you run it today, in 4 days from now, you will check the results and see what's actually working. And so let me show you how to do that. In the ad set level, just make sure you select your ads, the correct ad set, sorry. And then you will go to your ads and you will see, okay, which one is actually performing better? Let's say, for example, these 5 here, or actually, let's say these 3 are the best performers. They're getting the cheapest cost per lead and best cost per booking as well, or best cost per qualified lead. You would turn off all the other ones at the end of the 4-day test. And since these 3 are actually the best performing ones, we will make iterations of the ads, okay? So we'll change the color, we'll change the copy on the ad, we'll change how it looks, and then we will try to see what about this ad actually worked to get a better result. And let's try test something a little bit different to see which one actually works better in the next 4-day cycle, okay? So that is actually how you test out your campaigns and actually make sure you're generating qualified leads and qualified bookings as well, okay? So that is how to set up your first ever ads campaign within Facebook ads so they can generate qualified leads, qualified booked calls as well, and actually scale your agency past $20,000 a month without cold outreach. So if you've enjoyed this video, please drop a like. If you want to work with me one-on-one so that I can help you build your entire attention scaling infrastructure, so generating paid leads and actually converting them into qualified booked calls so that you can actually scale your agency. I'll leave a link down in the description below. Feel free to book in with me. We'll see if we're a good fit together. If we are, let's work. But otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will actually see you in the next one. Peace.